What is one of the worst things that could happen to a Minecraft YouTuber? Hey there, this is GrampyJAG coming to you from Pluma, a journey to the future. So you're saying, why are you not coming from living in a Dcraft world? Well, here's the thing. Something happened last Friday. I was playing, got everything set up so I could record in the morning, come back in the morning, and everything's broke. And it was weird. It was piecemeal. I don't know if the operating system updated. I don't know if CurseForge updated. I don't know if I got hit with something. It's weird. Just saying. So what happened, my first indicator there was an issue was I would come into the world, any world, and I was not me. I was Steve. Yeah, wrap your head around that. You come in looking for some hot dude like this, and you get Steve. Sorry, Steve. Okay, so I say just say it was a little bit of a shock. So it's like, okay, fine, we'll reset the skin. I come back and I'm Steve. It's like, okay, I'll go out to vanilla and reset the skin, and I'm GrampyJAG. What? Okay, let's go back. I'm Steve. What? So I did a lot of research, and I went out and I went to my Minecraft account, which, let me tell you, going through to my Minecraft account and using the Microsoft thing was not a nightmare as well. It kept telling me I wasn't who I was. I finally got that relocked in. So there's a lot of layers here. And I set up my skin, and I load a vanilla, and I look at it, and I'm GrampyJAG, yay! Although I'll tell you, working with the skins on the Minecraft site with Microsoft tying you in, not the easiest thing in the world to work with. I much prefer the way CurseForge had it, if it worked, but yeah, we're getting to that. So the more things I got or attempted to fix, the more things went wrong. Eventually, I got to the point where my games would not load at all. It just crashed. So it became pretty apparent that CurseForge was useless, so I brought all my files back from save. Didn't work. Brought all my files back from save a little earlier. Didn't work. Dumped CurseForge, reloaded CurseForge fresh. Didn't work. Dumped all my gaming files and brought them back from archive. They don't work. Got to be very frustrating because I really was enjoying living in a Dcraft world and actually had a fair amount of stuff done, which you haven't seen. By the way, I have a lot of footage filmed. And now I'm trying to decide, is it worth putting the footage out? Or should I just start fresh? Because I'm not rebuilding it. The best game version I could pull back was 4 months out of date. And I don't know why that one works and anything after it doesn't. You would think anything after it up until the date where things died should work. It doesn't. It just crashes. So it's a very confusing system. In any case, I wound up using Multi-MC and FTB Electron and wound up, like I say, tracking down a couple versions that worked on those. And I got them ported over to CurseForge, and they do work on CurseForge, but they're so damned old, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. So here's my thought process. It's going to take me literally weeks to get all of my different games back. Although I'm sure none of them are going to be as involved as Dcraft was. For some reason, Dcraft got hit the hardest. Don't know why. Probably because it was the last thing I was playing. Seems like the others are going to be easier. I can just download the new stuff, and looks like I might be able to just port my games in with very little tweaking, and they should work. So some of the things that happen somehow, and I don't know how, the config files and some of the files in the saves are different from what the new, when I downloaded Dcraft Fresh, they're different. The file structures are different. Don't know what happened in there. And again, I did manage to get GrampyJAG back, but I had to change the launchers. I can't use the Minecraft launcher, which is what I was set up to use. So I could, yeah, because it was like standard. The others beta, I try to avoid the betas until I get all the bugs out. But I'm using the CurseForge launcher now, and that's the only reason you're seeing GrampyJAG. If I went back to use the Minecraft launcher, unless it was a vanilla variant, you would see Steve. I mean, I couldn't even add in any of the other skins. All you got was Steve, Steve, Steve. So that was a couple changes. Also, and I don't know how this worked for a while and didn't later, but also the path that CurseForge launches from was changed. And that's probably what it probably was, trying to load something, one of these fixes I had, and it crashed. And it basically just reset everything because it was trying to access the default startup folder. And I had a modding folder that I use off to the side. Yeah, so that all got changed. How the heck did that get changed? I didn't do it. Suffice it to say, I did get both multi-MC, which quite honestly, multi-MC is where I did all of the initial development for this. I loved multi-MC back in the day, or MC multi, I forget what it's called. It worked great, and then for a while it was incompatible. And then now it's just incompatible with Forge, so you got to do a you got to do a backwards way of getting anything from CurseForge onto multi-MC. You got to use FTB as a bridge, the FTB launcher. Thank God I didn't have to use the AT launcher, because that's, I just don't like it for some reason. But the FTB launcher, I managed to do a few workarounds. I managed to get things loaded up and was able to look at the file structures and move files into. And why isn't everybody's jar file the same? You know, you set up a mod pack and you run it through the jar builder in CurseForge, but you can't, if you open up what you've got over on, say, multi-MC or FTB, the file structures are different. I mean, not just a little, they're way major different in some ways. So you've got to literally put each folder and test. Put each folder and test. And till you got everything in the right place and you figured out what it ain't going to like, and it's going to have to just regenerate or do without. So anyhow, if you're feeling my frustration, that is the way my week has gone. I thought about going into creative and just rebuilding everything that was missing, and it's like, there's no way. I'm never going to catch everything. And the other problem with creative is, while you're doing it in creative, if you break any blocks, they're gone, so I don't get the drops. I'd have to go and then creatively create some more stuff. Yeah, no. So I am not happy. I lost that world effectively. My thinking is I will keep uploading the Dcraft, Living in a Dcraft World version 1 until you start hitting information that's game or instance, what do you call it? That particular world specific. And then I'll have to jump over to Living in a Dcraft World version 2. By the way, again, this is not Living in a Dcraft World. I threw this in quick so I'd have something that I could record from. And again, this is Pluma, A Journey to the Future. And I like some of the stuff I'm seeing in here. The interface is smooth, but let me warn you, they got 300 and I think it's 63 active mods. Oh my god, this thing runs like a dinosaur. It is so bloated. That said, I see a lot of things, and I haven't even really gotten into this pack that I like that. Isn't that a cool texture up there? That's a glowing texture. Isn't that a cool texture down there? That's some sort of sapphire, I think it is. No, it's glowing crusted, so inlated. It's not going to let me see the floor. Pity. But I believe that's a sapphire block of some sort. Isn't that cool? And you've got dust. You've got gem dust all over the ground out there. So there's things I'm going to be picking away at to see, like, how did they do their interface, you know, your startup interface, and all the smooth gadgets they got built into it. Kudos to whoever was working on this. I wish you would go back and work on it some more. It's been kind of left on the shelf now for about a year and, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, year and a half-ish. I'm telling you, just from the looks of things, I'm kind of liking it, except for the fact that it is so bloated. I'm going to have to probably pop up my RAM. It recommends like 10 gig, and I've got 10 gig, and it's a little slow in some places. And considering living in that Dcraft Omicron gets laggy once the world gets bigger, I can only imagine what this thing's going to do. And I kind of had that optimized to some degree. But if you get a big enough world or it encounters a fault, by the way, there was a fault in the world. Something over by the castle when it turned nighttime. And time would stop unless you hit a bed. And it was really slow going through the sleeping process. I wasn't over there. I mean, I was earlier in the week, but I wasn't over there right before it went kaboom. I was actually downstairs digging out colored rock and such, and working on Tin Mine 2. So, yeah, I don't know exactly whether I tripped something, the game goobered. It didn't act like it goobered. It shut down fine. The computer shut down fine. It wasn't till the next day when I tried getting in, and there was no indication till it came up, and there I was, Steve. It's like I shouldn't be Steve. But, anyhow, I digress. Look at the cool sword. Oh, I forgot. I'm in creatives. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. There's a hole. I thought I dropped myself out of creative. Oh, well. Yeah, I ran out of stuff to say. That's what's going on. My life's been a living hell this week. Wife wound up having a urinary, not a UTI, kidney stone. Yeah. And she's got to fly from Michigan to New York now. So it's like, oh, it just gets worse. So, anyhow, I will try and get things resolved. I'll get back to working on some videos. I've got a bunch of stuff for Just Talking. I got a bunch of stuff for Living in a Dcraft World. I got a bunch of other stuff just been hanging out there. You might get some random thing thrown at you out of the archives that I never really finished working on before. For whatever reason, just as an aside, and I can throw it out quick. But talked enough now. This was supposed to be short, but now you know what's going on. So I will try and get back to you, and if you are interested in this world, you know, I can always do a few things from here too, possibly. Kind of like I was doing them from, what's it called there? I got a bunch of files, and I put a few up from Sky Factory 3, I think it was. So, yeah, I got way more stuff I need to process, but I'm still recording. I try and record every day just so I can pick and choose sometimes because not everything works. Anyhow, catch you later. Let's break some more glass. I don't know why it's using that hand and not my weapon hand. Oh, I know why. Because I put it over there. Never mind. Bye. Look at this. Ain't this smooth? Cool, ain't it?